Exclamation everybody and welcome to Second. Probably asking yourself, what the heck is this? Because I was kind of asking myself the same thing. It's a card game. It's very similar to other card games like Slay the Spire. Except instead of being a deck builder, you kind of build your deck, but really you don't draw cards during play. You use the same cards over and over again. So it is still sort of deck building, well, pretty much deck building, but you use the same cards over and over again as you go through. And it's more of it's interesting because it's a roguelike card battler, but it feels to me more like a puzzle game, which has me intrigued a bit. There's a very extensive tutorial I've gone through, and even I'm like at the end of the tutorial like, well, I guess I'll just wing it. And so far so good. I mean, it's as extensive as the tutorial is, it's and as good as that is, it's still, I mean, it's like they're trying to throw 900 concepts at you at once, and it's not invariably to all sink in when you first do it until you've played a little bit. But this is by Sinkhole Studio, and it is in early access on Steam. It's currently $16 US, and there's a couple different modes here. The campaign mode is chapter based, which is weird because it's telling you a story and everything like that. And I've done chapter 1 already, although apparently, yeah, I haven't gotten all the cards I could get. But I've done chapter 1 already, so I could do chapter 2, and I probably will. But it's once you've finished a chapter, that's it. Like, it just sends you back to the main game, and then when you start the next chapter, you start back from zero, pretty much. It's very interesting and weird, at least from what I've seen thus far. The standard mode, though, is the roguelike. It's almost like an endless mode kind of thing, where you pick a level, and it just sort of throws you through the process. Like, you go from one map to the next. So it's kind of like an endless thing. I have one of those going right now. If I hit continue here, I believe. Yes, I do. So we'll pick up with this one for a little bit, and then I might pop back and do chapter 2 of the campaign, just so you can kind of see both. The other thing I wanted to note, which was on the main screen there, you probably saw, and I kind of glossed over it. There is an Android version of the game, and after you've played the Steam version for 2 hours, it will give you the button that says unlock. You can hit the unlock button there, and it'll give you a little code underneath of it, and you download the Android version, and I believe you just put that code in there, and it's all good. You can now play. I don't know if it syncs your game between the two. That would be kind of nice if it did, but you can at least play on both platforms. I imagine maybe it syncs your character. I don't know. I haven't played the Android version yet, so that's where we're at there. So the other thing to note here, this is the main battle map. You start out at the starting point of the sector, and then you can go all around the place. There's different things here. There's a lab. There's events that you encounter, and then there's battles. Sometimes you get a battle, sometimes you don't. And then there's bosses. And like I said, this game is like super deep here. There is a day-night cycle, and all the enemies get harder at nighttime, and every day that passes that you haven't defeated a boss, the boss gets stronger. So it's, there's lots of stuff going on here. Also, I have 33 as my max hit points now because this is the second map of this that I've standard mode that I'm in. I also have a bunch of cards that I didn't start out with. You only start out with 3 cards, and I have a bunch more that I've put into my deck. There's also a card pack, and the way they do the card packs, again, a lot of complexity here. You at the end of a successful battle, you get the option of opening a card pack, or you can hold on to it. If you hold on to it, what it does is it gives you a level. Right now I'm at level 8 on the card pack, and if you hold on to it, it will keep leveling up every time you win a battle. And as it levels up, the cards you'll get out of it once you eventually unlock it are much more powerful. So you can have the option of either, if you really need cards right now, just open it up right now, or you can kind of hang on to it and see if you get some good, like, rarer cards and stuff. And there's different card colors. You can see down here I've got a couple gold ones, a blue one. The white ones are the commons. The white ones are the ones I started out with. I think the gold is the top tier ones. I forget. It explains it in the help stuff. But anyway, all that just to get you prepped. As far as this is telling you how much enemy HP has gone up. Right now we're starting at 0 because we just started the map. But this will tell you as the day and stuff progresses, it tells you how much hit points it's adding on to the enemies. That's a lot, and I realize that's a lot, and I realize you're staring at a blank screen, but I'm trying to convey as much information as I can, because once I start playing, you're going to be scratching your heads just like I was scratching my head going through the help stuff. So in any event, let's go and start point here. All right, so we got a Splinter Claude here who is 35 hit points, and I've got 33. Now, even more stuff to go over here. There are effects over here that I can tap into. This guy doesn't appear to have any effects on him yet, or any that he can tap into, but you know, it is what it is. Down here is the timeline. So there is, every time you play a card, there is a casting time. So if I were to play Medikit, for instance, which I don't need because it's just a healing thing, but if I were to play it, it's going to take 0.7 seconds on the timeline here. And you can see it actually highlights how many things it's going to do there. Now, the green, teal colored ones are my time slices, and the red ones are the enemy's time slices. And I can only do actions during my time slices, but if an action falls into an enemy's time slice, it will take place. So it's like doing a wind-up. So if I do a slash right now, for instance, it's going to start to wind up as soon as I do it. During the enemy's turn, they'll be able to, during the enemy's time slice, the next one, they'll be able to play a card if they want to, whatever it is, either defense or offense, and then the next time slice, I will actually hit them with my card. So, but then since they had a time slice in the middle, they could have gotten a card off, which means the next time slice after my, you know, if they have a card that only takes 1.1 time slice, that card could go off at the same time that my card's going off, and it could either nullify my card, or it could put a shield up. There's instances like that, or any number of things. As we go through it, you'll see it, but I'm trying to get these basic concepts out because this is like really super different than anything I've seen up to this point, and I've played a lot of these card-based games, so I'm trying to at least convey enough that you're not entirely lost. But once you see a few rounds, assuming I survive a few rounds here, you'll see what's going on. So what I could do now, I've got a bash which takes 0.3, but that also reduces the usage charge of my next card. Now, I haven't talked about the usage charge yet, but you see there's a little battery icon underneath these. So I got 3 charges of slash. I've got 2 charges in these other cards. What that means is I can use them the face of the card, the face damage on the card 3 times in theory, unless I use this bash, which will make things take 2 points instead of 1 point of energy. Bear with me. Once I use up all the charge here, I can still use the card. It's just that it's at a very reduced cost. It's called like a burn cost at that point. And so you, instead of doing, for instance, on Slash, instead of doing 6 damage, I'll only do 3 damage. But it'll be three burn damage. So it's and some cards, once you use up all their charges, they actually expire, so they go out of your hand for the rest of the game until you come to your next encounter. So you have to kind of balance the two things. I think I have one of these cards. I think a couple of these cards just leave my hand entirely. This Slash and Bash and Medikit all stay in my hand after their charges are used up, but they're then become, very different in how you use them. All right, so I could do my bash and do 8 damage to this guy, but the next card I play is going to take 2 charges to do instead of just 1 charge. So I have to kind of balance the two things here. I'm going to do a Slash just for the sake of argument and see what he plays. All right, he played something, but I don't know what it was. It's not showing up on the timeline here. Oh, actually, yes. Okay, he played Rapier. So this turn, this next 0.1 turn, I'm going to get hit for 5 damage. I believe, yes. I'm going to get hit for 5 damage, and he increases the usage charge on all of his cards in his deck there. So I'm going to get hit for 5 is basically what that's saying there, because I have nothing that will go at 0.1. I do have Lurking, but that's not active, and I don't think I can do that yet because it's behind my other cards here, and this is not actually going to help me much anyway. It just decreases my cast time. There's other things like Sealed and stuff. I'll try to explain those as best as I can. Right now we've got, since I've used Slash, it goes to the back of this hand, and because I can't use it again this turn because I've used it once already, it has a cooldown on it. But I now have Clean Hit here. However, Clean Hit is locked until I do, because it's got exact time. Oh my god, this is complicated here. But exact time means that I can only cast this card if I have exactly 3 slices of time to cast it in that are mine, that I own. So for instance, when I get to this time slice here that I'm moving the mouse over, that's got 3 time slices there. I'll be able to do Clean Hit then, because it'll take exactly 3, and then that'll do 9 damage. It's like I said, it's some craziness going on here. So I think what I'm going to do is bash now, which means when I do my Clean Hit, it's going to take 2 energy instead of just 1, but it's, it still does 9 damage. So I mean, we're doing damage one way or the other here, and I've got 8 damage on the bash, so let's do that. Of course, the bash is not going to go off until the end of his time slice here, so let's do what we can. All right, so he did the 5 damage to me, and then he got another rapier off, so he's going to do 5 more damage to me. But now you can see I've got the exact time is satisfied now, so I can do a Clean Hit, which will do 9 damage on the guy. I've got, since I did bash and it's on cooldown right now, it went to the back of my deck. I've got Chain Sickle here, and this has got 2 conditions on it. One, it will do, the way conditions work on cards is that they work from the top down. So if I spend 2 time slices I'll do 4 damage and then 4 damage. So it'll be basically I'll do 8 damage. I think the 4, yeah, it'll do both of these. So it'll do basically 8 damage. If I don't spend that, it'll just do the 4 damage. Also, you can see 2 of these are red because I've got that other thing on me that says so the next thing I do, the next card I play is going to take 2 energy instead of 1 because I did the bash last time around. And then medkit's pretty self-explanatory. It heals me for 9. I'm not going to use that yet because I'll end up using it up. So I'm going to use clean hit because we got it. So, and let's do that. So we did 9 damage to him, so he's down to 12. He hit me again, so I'm at 19 health now. And so I used clean hit up, so it's on cooldown now, so it moved to the back of the deck and brought slash back forward again. And this is where it sort of becomes a puzzle, right? Because, and the way the help is structured as like a series of puzzles. Like you gotta play certain cards at certain times and in order to succeed. Otherwise it kills you and then you have to redo the help, that help training again for that particular section. So it's the same in the game here, where you're constantly looking at your cards and going, all right, what sequence of cards will get me the most damage off this guy before they kill me? And then at the end of each encounter, it's considered a rogue-like game, I think, but in reality, I don't carry health over from one. Like, I don't carry damage over from one encounter to the next. The next encounter, I'll be back to 33 health again, which is why I say it's more of a puzzle game, which is kind of intriguing to me. But in any case, we've got Chain Sickle here. That'll take 2. If I spend 2, which I actually have 2 to spend, because it'll bring me to the end of my turn here, I can do 8 damage on this guy. That will help tremendously because my next turn I'll have at least 3 slices to do the slash, which should kill this guy unless he heals himself up. So I'm going to spend a 2 on here. And yes, I want to do that and confirm. There we go. And he's down to 4. Did a little bit of damage to me, but nothing too crazy. He's got more damage coming in, 5, but I've got plenty of hit points to deal with it. And I can do my slash and this will basically kill him. Now, the lurking here, I'll explain this since it's come up. This gives me, this decreases the cast time of the next card. So if I play this, it takes 1 slice to play, and then it'll reduce, it would reduce slash, say, down to 2, and medkit down to 5. But this guy's damage is coming off the next turn anyway, so the next time slice anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I do this or not. But it's also got this sealed thing here, and what this means is much like the clean hit and bash and everything that went to the back of the deck, what the game calls that is called sealing it. So in other words, it will it makes it so you can't use that card again until the next turn comes around, and in this case until it actually comes back to the front of your deck. If I were to, this is called a change or a crossover or whatever. If my like earlier on where I had like green slices and red slices in the middle there, if I had that situation where this would cross over the boundary between a red slice and a green time slice, or a green time slice and a red time slice, this card would then be active, which would seal this card and make it so it cannot be used until the next turn. It also changes the card over to a hurt and an end, which is what you see over here, which means it will damage me. I will take damage of 1 if it crosses, and this is again this is only if it crosses over another between green and red in there. And then that will also end something. Like I said, it gets really like basically as I roll over this, it's showing me what the card looks like when what's actually going to happen here. It's a weird. It's very complicated. Very, very complicated. Some of the chaining that happens here, because again, you're not drawing cards like you would in a game like this. You're just using the same cards over and over again. So the way they've added complexity to this is to make cards chain together based on how your timelines look and all that stuff. I don't even understand half of it. I've gone through all the tutorials. Well, I've gone through all the basic tutorials. There's advanced tutorials I couldn't deal with because it was just going through the basic tutorials took over an hour for me. So it's just, you bear with me, and some things just may not make a whole lot of sense, and they're not going to make a whole lot of sense to me either sometimes. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's just do this slash and kill this bastard. There we go. Alright. And my pack level's at 8, and it's telling me I got like 4 commons and one rare right now, if I were to open it now. But instead I'm going to keep it for later and let it level up to level 9. There are also things I can find, like in chests over here and whatnot, that will actually bump up my card pack level for me too. So, I don't have to be too crazy there. So now one portion of the day has gone by, so now enemies are now 1 hit point stronger. Like I said, every time you do something, it makes it a little bit harder as you go. So whereas your initial instinct would be to go explore every little node here and there, you really want to like maybe balance between exploration and killing these bosses before they become so OP that you're going to be hurting aplenty. But I can't even get to them yet because I haven't made it that far. So let's go here. Alright, we got a Galaxy Trooper, and our timeline looks like a mess again at the very beginning. What's he got? He starts with a shield of 8. Great. So he's got 36 hit points plus a shield probably of 8 eventually. I don't know when this activates. I think he has to activate it, but it's only a 0.1 activate, so you might activate it probably the next time slice here. So if I do my slash of 6, he's probably going to run that, and that does an 8, so it's not even going to take that shield down, is it? Well, that's fun. Let me do the bash first, so I can at least possibly get his shield knocked out, because I have a feeling he's going to do that next. Yep. That's exactly what he did. Oh, but I managed to do damage. Oh, I think the shield only lasted for 1 time slice. Start shield 8. Sealed. Oh, it crossed boundaries, so it sealed itself and removed the shield at the end of my turn. At the end of his turn, it's going to come back to being available. Okay. It's confusing. It's very confusing because I was expecting not to do any damage to him, but I did. So, hey, you know what? Why not? Let's do slash. Right, and then he lost his shield again, but he was able to deflect all my damage coming in. Now I've got a clean hit. I can do that because that's exact time. What's he got coming in? He's got shield on, exploding bullets. If I had my shield on, it would do 7 damage. Otherwise it's just going to do 5 damage after 1.0 on the time slice stuff. Okay, so right after my clean hit activates here, like this bullet will Okay, I think it's after 1 from this bullet activating, right? So it'll be probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'll probably show up here as doing the damage. I think if I'm reading that correctly. So let's just do this. Yep, that's exactly where it showed up. And now he's going to do another bullet, which is going to do another 5 damage after 1.0. So all his damage is like delayed by 1 time slice. So I can get a bunch of shots in if I play my cards right here. Let's see. So I was casting on my turn. Remove shield. Okay. So he doesn't have a shield up right now. So I can do a 6 damage to him. Hasn't done any damage to me yet, but it's incoming. Or I could do the 8 damage. Because I have just enough to do that. Because this one will take 3 time slices and then I won't have enough to do the chain sickle. So I feel like, or to do the full damage on the chain sickle. So I feel like, although it's 10 versus 8 damage at that point, right? Like I can do, well, the chain sickle wouldn't fire off until it got over here. So it doesn't really matter that much. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 slices over there. All right, let's just do the slash right now. There we go. And then I believe I could do this, and then pay with it with one of these, if I'm not mistaken. So can I pay with it with the other? Yeah. So I paid it forward basically on that one. Okay, so he has. So what happened there was he hit me once, and then he hit me with a fire effect bullet. And so what, or burn effect, I should say. So what burn does in the game is it does damage, but it also reduces, it does damage by reducing your maximum hit points. So you see I'm down to 29 on my maximum hit points because that's how burn works. It damages your maximum hit points. So I can't heal up to the 33 that I had before. I can only heal up to 29 now until I don't believe it carries over to the next encounter. I think it's just for this encounter. But that's how a card with burn does its effect basically. So instead of damaging your health, it actually damages your potential health. There's a lot of craziness. I love what the game is doing, but holy crap, does it take a PhD to freaking figure it out sometimes. So I can't do a clean hit because I don't have exact time here yet. But I could do this, which will actually give me, actually decrease the cast time of it, which isn't actually going to help me. But it, well, it's the only one I can really play right now, so let's just do that. And see, now this is 0.1. This is 0.1. So it'd have to be exact time on that, but bash is now 0.1 as well. I believe though it's only an effect for, yeah, it's only for the next card. So the problem here is that because I've done that, when I do the bash, there's only going to be 2 slices left here, and I'm not going to be able to do clean hit again. So all I can really do is the 8 damage, and then I get the negative effect on that one for the next card. So I take it back. I can do chain sickle because it's at 0.2. I'll do 4 damage versus 8. What do I have here? Damaged on this turn. Damage on this turn. I'm not sure what that what that means. We do have 5 more damage coming in at the end of our turn. But see, it's a hell of a thing because this 4 damage would bring him down to 1 health. But if I pay the 2 here, then he'll get damaged over here for 8, which may or may not work depending on whether he puts a shield up. But I guess we'll do it. Let's pay it. I don't have to pay it, but I think I will just to see what happens here. See if my gamble works out. Yeah, he... Oh, you know what? And it transitioned. Yeah, he put a shield up that stopped me. And because we transitioned between red and green, my card switched over to Survival Instinct, where I take 1 damage, but I can decrease the cast time on my next card. So let's do that. And now you can see my bash that I had before is now a burn card, so decrease the enemy's maximum hit points as much as damage dealt. So basically I'm damaging his maximum hit points and not his real hit points, I think is how that works. Or maybe I'm doing both, I'm not entirely sure. But I think what I want to do is I want to use the med kit here. Oh, it's going to use up my entire turn, isn't it? Shield 3, ignore seal. He's going to get a shield up of 3. So I could do this damage now before he gets his shield up. And then worry about the med kit. So let's do that. Okay, so it does do hit point damage and also maximum hit point damage. Okay. So that's good. So then that's back to 0.3. So this is not worth doing because he's going to put a shield up right now. So I'm going to start to heal. Oof, he hit me with another bad burn card there. Alright, and then we got this card that's just freaking ridiculous. Activate it when removing 1 from the something. I don't even know what this symbol is. I really don't. Removing 1 from the... Oh, this has a 3 on it? I don't know what that means. So gain 1, heal 3. Oh, I see. This is an inventory. So they didn't explain inventory cards that I remember, but this card has 3, I guess, 3 copies of itself, kind of, sort of. It's got 3. Basically, it's telling me I have 3 med kits, essentially. As I do these, I remove 1 med kit from it. But if I... Just the act of casting this gives me 1 back, and I heal for 3. So, and these are all optional ones you can turn on or off, depending on what you want. But you have to turn them on from the top down. Like, I don't think you can just do the one in the middle or anything like that. You got to do like the first 2 if you want the one in the middle kind of thing. So... Very, like I said, you need like a freaking PhD to figure this game out sometimes. But I'm just going to do this, and this should kill this guy. There we go. Alright, we're at pack level 9. You can see my pack now has 3 commons, 1 uncommon, and 1 rare. So we're going to keep that for later. And that'll keep leveling itself up as we go. Whew, man. But we're back up to 33, which is nice. I'm glad that we restart every time. But the enemy HP is up 2 points now. So I think what I want to do is I want to go this way to try to take this guy out. And then try to get to the boss battle. We'll see how that works out for me. Let's come over here. And it's nighttime, so at nighttime the enemy always goes first. So that's the other disadvantage to the day-night cycle. So as the day goes on, the enemy hit points go up by 1. But then also at nighttime, enemies always get the first time slice. So they always go first. So that's what's happening there. That's why he got a thing off right away. I think he got his shield off, but it was only an instant, so it doesn't help him too much. I guess we'll start out with the good old slash, which he will block entirely. Okay. I'm gonna get hit with his bullet, but it is what it is. Oh, he missed. Well, that's interesting. I've never seen them miss before. Okay. Or did he miss? Oh no, he cast it, and now it's going to actually do damage. I think. Yeah. Wrong with me. I'm going against my. Oh no, actually no. He casted something and it disappeared. Okay. Maybe I misread what was going on there. Anyway, we've got clean hit. We're going to take it because we got it. Oh yeah, he did get one bullet off, and then there's the other one. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, something crazy going on here, and then we got another one coming in here. Okay. How do I want to do this? So we have 4 slices here, which is not enough for these guys. Do both of those, but it is enough to do 8 damage from the chain sickle. So I think I will take that right now. Turn that on and do that. Alright, shield was up briefly, and then it's back down, and now it's back up, and now it's back down again. His shield seems to only last... Well, he's going to get a shield for 3 now, but usually his shield only lasts for his own turn, because I think his shield is an immediate, or something like that. Yeah, something to that effect. So if I do a lurking, that will reduce this slash to 0.1, which means I'll get the slash off before his shield goes up. So I think that's what I want to do. There we go. And now we'll do the slash. I could do the bash. That would actually do more damage. Do 8. Yeah. I guess it doesn't hurt to do the bigger damage card, huh? So let's do that. There we go. And now his shield is going to be up, so I'm just going to use the medical kit, even though it's going to use up both charges. Now, oh, did the game crash? Okay, friends, we're back. This is this has happened before. Occasionally when a game, and I don't know if it's the Unity engine or what, but occasionally a game will crash the audio on Windows 10. And I'm not sure it's entirely the game's fault. I honestly believe it's Windows 10's fault. because this is not the first game this has happened to, but every so often Windows 10 will just say, you know what? I'm going to destroy all of your audio devices. And it just forgets that I have any audio on there and tries to play the audio through my monitors, which I have disabled. It actually literally re-enables the monitors and then starts playing music through them. The game itself had frozen up. I couldn't do anything. And in fact, I had to reboot to get it all to just correct itself. Now, the nice thing is, I rebooted, I started the game up, I hit continue, and it went right to where we left off. It actually literally replayed through the whole battle. I just watched it play through the whole battle up to this point. So kudos to the devs on that one. That was kind of cool. It actually remembered exactly where to pick up on, and it has. So great. I didn't lose any progress, and it was kind of cool to watch it replay the whole battle up to this point too. So yeah, very, very good, devs. Very, very good. Just figure out why you crash my audio drivers, please, or figure out why Windows likes to crash the audio drivers like that. In any case, sometimes when Unity tears itself down, I've seen this with Unity games where when they crash hard. Usually with taking all the music with them. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're back to the battle. Finally, we're back to the battle, and we've got some damage incoming, burn damage, and he's got 4 health left but no shield, so it looks like I could potentially just do the slash and just kill him outright here after he does a little bit of burn damage. So there we go. Alright, and our pack level's up to 10, and we're starting to get some more blue cards in there, but I'm going to keep that for later. Okay. The ordeal later. Hopefully the volume levels are the same, because I know that everything just goes to hell in a handbasket every time something like this goes on. But anyway, there we can now take on this elite battle. So let's do that now because the enemy HP is +3. So let's do that. And it's a 40-point Lynx. Okay, and he got a life steal off for 5 damage. Ugh. It's gonna be one of these. All right. Well, we just gotta do whatever damage I can do with the cards that I got. So the one downfall to not drawing new cards all the time is that you get kind of painted into a corner, right? Where it's like you're always playing the same cards over and over again, and probably always playing them in the same sequence over and over again. Now, had I opened that card pack before going here, I might have other cards to swap out, and I might be trying something different. But for the most part, you're going to want to let those card packs kind of simmer for a little bit, which means you end up in situations like this where you're just kind of doing the same things over and over again, which can be a little bit tedious. But again, this is early access, so I assume they're going to maybe tweak some things. But yeah, right now, just from the get-go, I can say that's about the tedious part of it. I do kind of miss like drawing cards and having random cards come out and just kind of having a different strategy each time. And here it's more like rote memorization, more often than not. When red type card has been activated in this turn, I don't know what that does either. There's a lot of symbols here that I don't quite understand yet. They might have told me those in the help in tutorials, but only so much you can retain from those. So yeah, do the bash, I guess. All right. Well, the lifesteal didn't do much to him because he didn't have any damage yet. So that was good, but it still hurt me a bit. And I think I'll do the slash here. There we go. Alright, we got another vampire bat coming in, but I can do a clean hit. Let's do that. Alright, we're both about the same health here. He's got a shield up now, though, of course. That's a fun times. That's a 9-point shield. I wonder how long that... Is that just a shield that's going to stay up there? I bet that's just going to last forever. So... He's going to do 5 more damage to me, so I think I better heal. Or at least try to heal. Oh, now he's doing burn damage. Okay, his shield is gone. That's good to see. Let's see here. So I could do a slash that'll get me down to 0.2 left, and then I can spend a 2 for chain sickle and have that go off over here for 8 damage. So let's see if we can chain some of these. Holy crap, 10 damage. I didn't look at that coming in. That's gonna be a problem. Confirm. Oof. Oof, I say. We'll do lurking. Yeah, if I do lurking and then this, that'll get me down to a clean hit exact time. So let's... Which will be... his shield is still up. So that's really not going to help me. That 9 damage is not just not going to do anything for me. Although I can make all his stuff take longer, it's still not going to do much. Yeah. I could use all 3 of these, I guess, and pull one of his turns away from him. One of his time slices away. Well, let's do it and see what we got here. That's right, it gives me bash back, doesn't it? And this now costs 0. Do that. And now I've got Fog, which I've never used yet, which increases the enemy's cast time. That costs 0, but the bash is going to work really well because I pulled that one time segment up. It canceled out his shield, which is awesome. So that was actually the right thing to do. Somehow I lucked out on that one. And now we can kill this bastard outright. There we go. There's where all your strategies come in there. Oh, we got a purple now. I am going to open this pack for the sake of argument because it looks like it's pretty decent. So let's do that. And I got a whole lot of cards that I'm probably not going to be able to use because they are colors that I don't have. But I'm going to take these anyway because we might be able to unlock those other colors. So let's just take all of those. A bunch of hook guns and stuff. Killed an elite. So whenever you kill an elite, you get a hit point up. So we'll go up to 36 now. Of course, now the enemy hit points are +4. There's also a loot box here. And yeah, here we go. My card pack point level went up by 3. So now you can see up here the card pack is going to start out at level 3 here. I have new cards. I can edit my deck. So we'll get to show you the deck editing here. The way this works is each one of these hands can have up to 3 cards in them. And you order them in the way you want them to show up. Like this is the first one to show up. This is the second. This is the third. They're also color coded. So, for instance, lurking here has got, you can see it's got both red and green on the card. So this can go either in the red slot or in the green slot here with my other guys. There are 2 other slots that are locked, and I have to do things to unlock them. I forget exactly what I have to do to unlock them. But once you unlock these, you can make them. I think you could choose what color they're going to be. I don't know if you choose the color or if the color's already chosen for you. But what all this is saying is basically none of these cards other than Fog I can use because they're not the right color for the slot. And having them in my deck is always a good thing because I could eventually unlock these, maybe. But I think at the end of the match, like at the end of the set, once you die, I think all your cards get reset back to just the top 3. If I'm not mistaken, that was the one thing that kind of irked me a little bit when I was playing the campaign, is that after I finished the chapter 1, when I went to chapter 2, it was like everything was reset to 0 again. I'm like, this is kind of weird. So I don't know if that works the same way in the standard mode or not, or if you keep all of your cards and then you can just keep, leveling up as you go. I'm not sure exactly how that works. So just bear with me on that. I haven't played enough to understand all the ins and outs here. And even if I could understand all the ins and outs, it's going to probably take a PhD to figure them out. So there's really nothing here I can use because they're all the wrong color. But there is another Fog card, so that's kind of nice. Now, I wonder, can you combine Fog cards? It's like, see, in my estimation, if I got a second Fog card that was the same color as one I had, I would want to be able to combine those and get a second charge out of them. Since this only has 1 charge right now. And you might be able to do that. There are factories on the map, and maybe I can do that at one of the factories. But let's hold that thought. But it would be nice if you could just do it automatically when you have duplicates like that, because otherwise there's no point in me having 2 Fog cards in here. Like there's only 3 slots that I can use, right? But we have because there's a lab up here. There's also a lab over here. So it says assign an empty slot, a new type. Destroy a card and assign its rarity to another card. So there's a couple things you can do in either one of these. We'll see that once I come over here. I'm going to do this enemy encounter because I want to get to the boss battle before this hit points go through the roof here. So let's do this. Bounty Hunter's up to 4. He's got, when you recover lost hit points on this turn, if 10 or more damage was dealt to an enemy's hit points with a single card, and when an opponent is casting on my turn, so he's got a couple different card types that has access to. I just won't know until it actually happens. So I guess we'll start out with what we normally start out with and do a slash. There we go. And we'll do a bash. Slash and a bash. Alright, he did a heal. And he got regeneration. Start heal of 1. Critical hurt if it transitions. Critical hurt. What does that mean? You get 10 or more damage with a single card. And there's a transition. Okay, well, I only have 9 damage, so a 9 damage card, so hopefully that won't trigger that transition. Alright, so he only healed for 1. And he's got other things, so he's never lost hit points on this turn. Start heal 1. So he's healing for 1 at the start of my turn. Okay, every time my turn starts, he heals for 1. That's the long-term buff he's got on there. Okay. He also hit me for... He increased my casting time for 3 on all my cards, which is freaking fantastic. Means they're all going to go beyond my turn. But I can still cast them, I believe. It's just they're not going to go right away. So I'll do the 6 damage one. The opponent is casting on his turn. I think he gets a buff of some kind. I don't know what it is, though. Alright. Probably to his chance to hit or whatever. Or to his damage, I guess. Okay, so we can do our chain sickle this turn and not worry about clean hit until next time around. Let's do that and confirm. Okay. He's doing damage, but not really anything that crazy. He's got a heal that he's going to hit up, though. So I'm in a position. Well, let's do the lurking. And yeah, that means I can get my bash off before he can heal. So he is dead. There we go. Alright, we'll keep that pack for later. Now let's look in the lab. Nighttime. You've reached an abandoned laboratory. You can destroy a card and transfer its rarity to another card. So, it is what it sounds like. I can select a card from my deck, or I can select one from my inventory. So basically I could transfer the rarity of a card over to one of the cards in my deck and make it, basically buff it up. So what I could do is, since I can't use the pumping I can't actually use because it's gold, right? So I could transfer the rarity of that over to something that I do use. Namely the slash, and see what it gives me. That is not what I was expecting. Why is it saying that? Oh, transfer to seconds. Oh. Duh. Wait a minute. Deck, inventory. Where's my inventory at? Here we go. I was going the wrong way with it. It's right to left, not left to right. Yeah, that puts my slash up to 8 damage. And that sounds good. Let's confirm that. Alright, you can only do one at a time though. Let's also edit my deck because I accidentally pushed that over there. Let's put slash on top, clean hit on the bottom. We had it. Okay. Cool. That's done, but that also pushes us up one time slice. So now enemy HP is +7. So everything you do does it. But we're doing some damage here right now. Abandoned arcade. I found an abandoned game machine. I can play a game with what seems like a very exhausted character. Okay. Select a card. Drag a card you want to use to the empty box and play the game. Insert card to attack. Oh. Oh. Okay. Let me take something from my inventory that I can't use otherwise. This is damage 1, enemy hurt, damage 10. Damage 5 with the hook gun. Casting ignore damage. Let's try the hook gun. Let's see what happens. Okay, damaged him. And now since he's damaged, my covering fire will do 10 damage to him. Well, actually 11 damage. So, bam! Winner, winner, chicken! You won the game! Useful things came out with loud noises. Card pack level +4. Now, you might think, oh, that was really fantastic. That really worked out well. But if I look at my deck now, those cards are gone. That's why I was like, maybe I should use them from the cards I can't use. because every time you use a card during one of those, and I found this out the hard way, whenever you use a card during one of those encounters, that card's gone. You're basically destroying that card in the process. So it's a trade-off. You got to make sure you're willing to do the trade-off. And in that case, it worked out pretty well. It gave me a card pack with it's now up to level 8. And we got one more battle before we can get to the final guy here. And I got my leveled up cards, so I will do a slash. Alright, you're gonna get me. You're gonna hit me with that weak shield. Give me a break. All right, and I will do a bash. Very nice. And now we can do an exact time on this guy, even though it's going to cost me 2 more energy because I used the other guy, but that's fine. We're doing tons of damage, putting tons of damage down the line, and that's what's most important right now. So what's he got coming up here? He's got a shield of 9 coming up. And he's going to make, well, he's going to actually, all his stuff is going to cost more. Shield of 9. So, nothing I do here is going to really hurt him. So I might as well take the time to heal. Alright, so hit me with things cost a little bit more, but that's fine. Because I can do... This will cost 5, which is just enough to do 8 damage. Or I can do this one, which will actually be a little bit better, because then I can get 2 off. So we'll do the slash. And then I'll fire off the chain sickle and pay for it forward with another time slice off the next turn. There we go. Alright, he's got a shield up for 9 right now. And he's got another shield coming up for 3 more. So I think that's 3 in addition to 9, unless that switches his shield back down to 3 points. I'm not entirely sure. In any case, not much I could do there. Other than I could heal myself. Let's do the lurking. And I can bash him for 8, but it's not going to do anything. I can use one of these and make his stuff cost him more. He's already got his usage charge there, but I can make his stuff cost him more time. I wonder if he's got something. He's in that state. My opponent's casting on my turn. I'm wondering if I pull one of his things forward, I wonder if it will reset his shield. I can't tell if it's going to reset his shield or not. I know he's got this other shield coming up. But I could try. Let's do this, and let's activate... Oh, I can activate just the one if I want, huh? Okay. Interesting. I thought you had to activate them in order, but I guess you can activate just one line. Okay. I can make my stuff go faster too if I really want to. Maybe I will, just for giggles. All right, it didn't make my bash go down to 0. I was hoping it would go down to 0 slices, but no, it's going to still take the 1. It did reset his shield. The next one coming up has only 3. points, but that'll be enough to, yeah, and this does 8 damage, so that won't be enough to stop me from killing him. So, bang. There we go. Okay. Like I said, it's more of a puzzle than anything else. We'll keep that, and let's go for the boss, who's going to have 9 hit points more than he should. Okay. And I guess we'll start out with the opening gambit we always do. Slash. What's he going to hit me with? He's going to hit me with a cancel? Oh, he's going to cancel whatever card I play, he's going to cancel. Okay. That's going to hurt a bit. So what I could do is just end my turn. No. Alright, he has a med kit that he used against me to give me more time, but also... That was it? Just gave me more time, huh? Interesting. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we'll fire off a bash. He's got another cancel coming. Of course he does. His cancel is... Oh, but it also removes 2 of his own time. That's how I got time back, I guess. Yeah, we'll just end our turn there. Alright, what's the coming up? Burn damage for 2. Okay, so that's fine. So we will do our chain sickle here. And I will pay the time, even though it's kind of not worth it, but we'll do it. There we go. What did he do to me? Oh, he's got a healing thing coming. That's fine. He's got a healing thing. Did he activate anything on there? It doesn't look like he activated anything, though. He's just going to heal himself for 3. He's only got 1 charge on that. Alright, well, that's fine. You go heal yourself. And I will... I will bash the hell out of you. And then I will... See, it's a shame I can't just burn 1 time slice here, because then I could get this exact time going. But I will chain sickle you, and I'll pay the full price, because I'm not going to have any more charges left of that. It gets out of my hand. Okay. So yeah, now we've got this, which ignores seal. That's what that ignore seal means. It's basically, it stays in your hand. It doesn't get sealed away and taken out of the game. So, but really, it's now down to just burn damage of 3. So we'll do that, and do it again, I guess, and do it again. And he's down. Alright, pack level 9, we'll keep that. Sector 3 at the plateau. Killed the sector boss, got 5 hit points and card pack plus 5. So we're up to 15, level 15 on the card pack. And what else can we do here? We got another... Oh, it automatically moved me on to the next map, that's right. So I didn't get a chance to do any of those other ones, so Once you kill the enemy, the final boss, that's that. And then there's portals here. That's interesting. It's an interesting mechanic to introduce. So I can move to any nearby areas of portals and then kind of pop around that way and take them out before they get really, really powered up. But anyway, that kind of shows you the standard mode. I believe I can go back to the main menu here. And then there's the campaign I was talking about, which is the story mode. I wanted to go through and show you the story a little bit, but this is going on a lot longer than I expected, and honestly, it's more of the same, other than it does have some cutscenes, and it kind of gives you the story of why this planet here is now broken into multiple pieces and all that stuff, and kind of gives you the story of the protagonist. And there's a couple different protagonists that you can do, but you have to unlock the other ones. So game's very complicated. There's a lot of layers to it, but it's also a lot of fun. Like I said, if you enjoy more of a puzzly game, it's a lot of fun. I know that a lot of the deck building roguelikes and stuff do have a puzzle element to them, where it's like, how do I do maximum damage and all this stuff. This one feels like it takes that to sort of the next level, because now you got to figure out, well, all these cards have different interactions that are happening based on the time frames that are going on and time slices and all that stuff, and you can kind of change things around that way. It's still very basic in what you can change, but then there's a lot of complexity where cards then spawn other cards in the chain and all kinds of crazy stuff. And like I said, the tutorial alone took me like an hour to go through, and that was just the basic tutorial. I didn't even try the advanced tutorial. So, and even that kind of left some things off. So it's just go into this with the understanding that it's going to probably boggle your mind for a little bit. But once you play a little, it starts to kind of make a little bit of sense. Like they introduce you to the cards very slowly, which is nice. It does get very repetitive because you're playing the same card over and over and over again. Whereas with a normal card game like this, you would have a deck that you're dealing out of, and there would be some randomization with that, and that can lead to more exciting, interesting patterns. But it's still very fun. I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I'm still enjoying it, as evidenced by the fact that I've been playing for so long here. And yeah, it's got a very good head on its shoulders right now. It's still in early access. It's still growing, and you know, you've got a mobile version, an Android version that you can also play on. So I'm very interested to see how this continues on. And the question people often ask is, you know, is it worth the price right now? $16 is kind of dear for a game that's in early access, but in this case, you're getting a lot here. There's a lot of really complex thought that's been put into this, so I would say it's probably worth it. Depending on if you really are more akin to liking the puzzle stuff and not necessarily liking the unlocking new card stuff, because you don't unlock cards that quickly in this game, and when you do, you unlock cards that you end up, like you saw earlier, maybe not being able to use right away. So it's more of a survival card game, I guess, more of a survival puzzle card game than a roguelike you know, action card game or card deck building game sort of thing. So take it for what it is, you know, and see if you like it or not. As always, I will leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. This, my friends, has been Second, and it is by Sinkhole Studio. It is currently in early access on Steam for $16 US. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.